All right, good evening. I am Val Meyers, and I am going to talk to you about children's wellness this night, and I'm going to see where my camera is. All right. I am, let's see how I figure this out. What did I push? There we go. I am a child therapist here in Bismarck, North Dakota. I am a parent myself of 2 children. I own the Kids Therapy Center. I have a clinic here in Bismarck, North Dakota, and one in Underwood. And I specialize in treating children. I treat children from birth through teens and their parents. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about how I use wellness with the kids in my clinic and other families. So I start by teaching parents that there's a few essentials for children that they should be working on as a parent. And those are exercise, healthy food choices, and supplementation. Kids make us feel how they feel, so that's a clue for us as a parent that when they are making us feel yucky, that they are maybe feeling yucky. And then it's time for us to evaluate where we can start. Basically, here is how it works with what I use. This is called my stress meter. With the stress meter, we overflow and we get symptoms. We start by evaluating what is stress on our body. So some of the first stressors that I would look at is, are they eating and sleeping and pooping every day? Are they getting what they need in that basic wellness in conjunction with exercise? So typically people might be wondering when their kid overflows that, and we see symptoms like behavior issues and such, we might be thinking, did they have a bad day at school? Did they get enough sleep? Are they hungry? That's typically what we do. We might say to ourselves, it's genetics. Their dad does that too, or their mom does that too. Today I want you to be thinking of what also might be going on with their body. Are they toileting daily? What are they eating? Is it something that they ate that they could be reacting to, such as gluten, dyes, milk, sugars, and preservatives? Because those type of symptoms can also be behaviors. As an adult, we can decrease our children's stress meter and by using these essentials such as the diet, exercise, and supplementation. So first is exercise. We all know and have been raised that we need to exercise. It's healthy for our body to be moving. These days, screen time and TV time is very common in households, and so we have to keep moving our kids away from those things and be getting exercise. And why? Well, one, screen time, there is a risk of attention deficit related symptoms. Also obesity. And screen time can weaken the brain by making the neurotransmitters not functioning as quickly as they need. So a rule of thumb is 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day of exercise can help with your basic mental health. It can help decrease irrational thinking, and it can increase focus and attention. Basically, when we exercise, it helps the neurotransmitters function at their fullest. It helps our body to release the feel-good hormone, serotonin, and so then we're not feeling as yucky, and it builds our self-esteem. For diet, we follow the MyPlate now, which is at myplate.gov, and it has your fruits, veggies, grains, and proteins. Grains is not as much as it used to. And it's wonderful that we are making these changes because obesity is on the rise. Obesity in itself can cause mental health issues. Diet in itself can also cause mental health issues. We feel by what we eat or what we consume. 10% of kids these days have asthma, 18% are obese, 9% of children are not getting the activity that they need to. So with that, we also have a nutrition deficit then. So basically 1/3 of our kids are not getting the calcium they need. 80% of our kids are not getting the vitamin E they need. 60% of kids are not getting the potassium they need. 20% of kids are not, ages 1 to 3 are not getting the iron. 20 to 50% of children are not getting vitamin D or are deficient in vitamin D, and 90% of kids are deficient in EPA and DHA, and that's our omegas. And that's because most kids don't eat 2 to 3 servings of fish a day. In my clinic, I use the TLS Transitions Lifestyle System because it's low glycemic. And the research behind low glycemic is wonderful as far as allowing us to know that children are getting the whole foods and proper nutrition. Low glycemic helps us. We try to keep our blood sugars level so we're not dipping up and down. It's very common that a kid, when they come home from school, they're hungry, and that we see a lot of behaviors then. And I'll talk a little bit about having a protein snack for kids then. But we want to keep those blood sugars balanced, and that can be hard with going to school all day. So we have to prepare them with snacks when we can as a parent. Here's some of our basic research for low glycemic. Children that eat low glycemic, they're more likely to get their nutrition that they are needing. We also see changes with them. Sleep's a big one. Sleep can be something that I get commonly asked in the clinic, and sometimes just diet change can help our kids sleep better, and adults too. I do get the questions from parents that we do eat healthy, but we still have the symptoms. And that's because we have to really be our child's digestive detective. We got to figure out, is there some other preservative, dye, aspartame, or is there a food allergy going on? Or are they absorbing their vitamins and nutrients from the food that they are eating? So the binary law of nutrition is either something is bothering the body or something is missing. And as a parent, that is our job to help figure out. So here's a basic slide on symptoms of food allergies: aggression, autism, allergies, anxiety, defiance, depression, sensory issues, temper tantrums, overtiredness, moodiness. A lot of reasons why I see kids in the clinic. So that is why I started using wellness in the clinic for meeting the basics first. So one of the questions are they related to what they ate? Are the behaviors related to what they ate? Well, some of the things that we do is keep a food journal and try to see if any of that is related to their behaviors. We also check to see if their tummy is digesting properly, and by that we also look at are they having a bowel movement daily, because they should be. And the reality is in my clinic, more than half the kids I see do not have a bowel movement daily. Constipation is very high within our children these days because of our American diet. Another thing to be looking for is not just a reaction or an allergy to the food, but are they reacting to some of the things? So such as sugars is one that's very common that we might see, and that's when a kid eats candy or anything with sugar in, and then they are basically bouncing off the walls. I think we've all heard stories about kids who do that, and we know then basically their body is holding onto the toxins and not releasing them like they should. Gluten sensitivity can be is very well known these days, but it's something that I think that for the mental health of our children, we have to be watching more and more. The signs of gluten sensitivity with children that I see quite often in my clinic is the defiance, the anger issues that goes along with it. I have a boy that I saw about 100 miles away from here who he came to me for very good reasons because he had witnessed his mother's suicide. And so when he came to me, he was labeled oppositional defiant disorder, reactive attachment disorder, and ADHD. He went through some great trauma work and did well, and there still seemed to be something going on. And his foster mom, who now has adopted him, decided one day she's going to go gluten-free. And so we prepared everything Friday. I supported her in the decision, and she went gluten-free. Monday she called me and she says, I'm not going back. I saw him again in the clinic, and he was doing better. We had him re-evaluated by the same psychologist, and sure enough, he left with no diagnoses. And that was all because, yes, he had great trauma work done, but he also, the allergies that he was having from gluten were no longer there. The recent research about gluten that came out within the last month is that it makes the frontal lobe more sticky. The frontal lobe of our brain is where our cause and effect is. So that is the area of like impulsivity, the thinking part where when I do this, this happens. And so this is one of the things I highly suggest to parents when they have a child that has impulsive characteristics, to go gluten-free for a little bit and see how it goes. One of the other common things that I check for is vitamins passing through the cell membrane. Basically, when we eat, our body digests, and through the cell membrane it's supposed to absorb the vitamins and minerals. And then we extract the toxins. Well, sometimes when kids eat, especially children that have neurological issues such as ADHD, autism, Asperger's, sensory issues, tics, those kiddos or adults have a harder time with digestion. So we need to help them with that digestion so that their body is absorbing their nutrients that we see. So the reality is those kids are really malnourished because they're not getting the nutrients that they need. They're not absorbing, they're extracting them. And actually, it's very common for their bodies to hold in the toxins and not absorb the vitamins and minerals that they need. So with supplementation, we flip that around so that their body's absorbing like they need and getting rid of toxins. So then we can treat a child with supplementation, diet, and exercise without medication. Here's just a little tidbit about diet that I use with some of my families, and that is adding protein to a child or upping the protein in their diet when they have neurological symptoms going on. And you know, their body's constantly going and thinking and all of that, so they need that extra protein to keep them going. Within the our own products within Market America, I have a few that I use myself. I like them because we have gluten-free bars, we have high protein, low sugars, and that's what's wonderful for these kids because their bodies tend to hold on to toxins, so we don't want to put in a large amount of toxins in their body, and we want higher protein. Now, it is a child care provider. I don't worry about the calories, even though that could be important for some children, but the reality is I look at protein and sugars and fiber in these bars. Another one of the products that I use is also our whey protein shakes. With this, I like them because they're in a packet. My daughter can take the packet to school and dump it in a water bottle and drink it. They're RBGH free, so that extra hormone is out of there, which these kids can react to. Again, no artificial flavors or sweeteners, and kids usually like them because they do taste good. I also use the Extend snacks, which you can get at our shop.com website or also at local stores. But these help maintain the blood sugars. You can get them in chips, bars, drizzles, and a variety of things. So kids are getting something that's healthy for them and keeping their blood sugars level. And so then basically keeping the symptoms down. When it's very common that parents will talk about when their kids come home from school or after school, they're very wired or naughty or emotional, and that is their blood sugar has dropped. They just spent a long day at school focusing and using a lot of their energy, and as a parent we need to add in a protein snack during that time until we have supper ready. And that's where we can use a variety of things like the bars, And my household, I just give my kids a half a bar before supper, or some of these other products, so that they are getting their blood sugar back to normal. And then I'm feeling much better because our fights are usually down. So the next part is supplementation, and why. We are designed to eat, but the quality of our food has gone down. Here's a example from 1940 to 91. Our mineral content of some fruits and vegetables here, and just the reduction of the quality of them. So it's not surprising that we need to supplement. And so then it comes to, what do we buy? Lots of choices. So today I'm going to talk to you about reading the label. With these kids that I'm talking about, the binders and fillers within our products can make symptoms worse. So we really need to be reading the label. Like, for example, a very common vitamin that we give our children is the Flintstones. Well, Flintstones has dyes in it and aspartame. So lots of times in my clinic, when I get a family that comes in and they're on this multivitamin, I will ask them to stop, because none is actually better than this. Because the children with neurological issues, they will hold on to these toxins instead of releasing them. And we don't want that, because we're trying to help them so that they're functioning the best that they can. Here's a common slide in X-ray of the vitamin that is leaving the body, and on the bottom you will see that on the third day it still is whole, and it's releasing the bottom whole. So it's not even breaking down in itself. So in my clinic I use isotonic. Reason being, it's same pressure and fluid as our body. So it's easily absorbed on an empty stomach. Within 5 minutes, the product will be absorbed. And that's what I really like about it. And also, there's no binders, fillers, or anything else in it, so I don't have to worry about what's going in my patients' bodies. I want them to be getting better, and I don't want to be worried about what else they're putting in their body. With Nutrimetrics, I trust the company. They have great research behind their products. They stay with cutting-edge ingredients and practices, and I really like that about the company itself. So yeah, in my clinic, kids drink their vitamins, and we have a couple that are chewable, but most of them are drinkable. So that's easy for them to take. So when a kid comes to my clinic, where do I start? I always start with the gut. How is that gut working? Are they digesting? Are they pooping every day? Within the first few questions that I ask patients that come to visit me, or their parents, I ask them, of course, how come are they here, but are they pooping? And we do a children's wellness survey. And you can reach that children's wellness survey. I will give you a website at the end. I have it up on a website. And with that children's wellness survey, I assess kind of what products they need and how their body's functioning. So one of the first products that I start with is not our multivitamin. I'm going to actually start with the digestive enzyme spectrum. This product helps break down sugars, fats. It helps break down gluten and casein, and this I sell tons of in the clinic because it breaks down gluten and casein. We know that gluten is hard for us to digest. That is not a surprise. So it's nice when we can use a product that if they don't have a severe allergy, that they can still eat some of those things and be a regular kid and add in a supplementation like this. I have a daughter, she's 9 years old, and she has a sensitivity to milk, and we believe that it's probably the hormones, so she does do the protein whey shakes, and if she decides that she wants to have a glass of milk with Oreo cookies, she is getting digestive enzymes, because we need to help break it down, and it's the spectrum digestive enzymes that does this. I also use this product for when I have kids that have neurological issues going on. Sensory, tummy pains, defiance, those are all great areas that I know that they're probably not digesting properly. When I get a child who is ADHD, which I will talk about ADHD in just a minute here, it's very common that I will mix the digestive enzyme with the OPC so that they are fully absorbing everything that they need. Probiotics. You know, probiotics is great for anybody that's on the American diet. It's also great for anybody that has, we just need them basically. Any irregulatory and toileting, frequently sick, antibiotics, infections, acne, skin issues, that's a probiotic great thing. So yes, I use the digestive enzymes for the upper gut, and I use the probiotic for the lower part of the gut. With children that are on the autism or Asperger's spectrum, it's very, research shows us that they should all be on an enzyme and a probiotic because their guts just do not function the way they should. So yeah, anybody with those type of diagnoses, they should just be on these products so that their body's functioning the way it should be. Also, when I get children or adults, I guess, that are have too much yeast, we see frequent yeast infections in the little girls, or their body's just holding on to that. And we'll see signs of them. Like I had a boy that his tummy hurt so bad that he would lean over so that the lower part of his tummy was on a table because it just hurt so bad. And here he had too much yeast in him. I had another little boy that came in with the label of OCD, but really he had too much yeast, and he kept pulling his underwear away from his body, and it would take them 2.5 hours to leave their home in the morning. And so we started him on just the probiotics, and that helped him. And he did eventually do a few other products, but it was the probiotic or products, but a few other. The probiotics is what we saw the greatest results with for those yeast issues. Probiotics is everywhere in the news and in research. The latest one that I just saw in Psychology Today this month issue is probiotics and depression, and how much it helps depression. Probiotics have been used for allergies and stomach issues for quite a while, and that it's nice to see the wonderful research that's coming out more and more on probiotics. Probiotics is essential for most people. All right, ultimatealoe. This is one of my favorite products within the company. I use this for everything. I think every household should just have it. It has great choices, flavors, and travel packets. I don't leave home without it anywhere because I have a child with gut issues. This is the one that it also has enzymes in it. So when I have a child who's not digesting properly or not absorbing properly, I will add this in throughout the day with the digestive enzyme because we want to get that gut working as best as we can, or the digestive tract. It also boosts your immune system. It's great for acid reflux, tummy issues. I use it with babies in my clinic, the natural one. It's great for healing skin. I also use it for the nervous tummy, car sickness, nauseousness, a variety of things. This is really a go-to product for a lot of people. OPC3. The Spectrum OPC3 is designed for anybody that needs the support in production of their neurotransmitters. I also use it for allergies and headaches and that, but it really is my go-to product when dealing with ADHD. And the research on it is from the early 80s forward about pycnogenol, which is in our OPC3, and how it helps ADHD symptoms. Basically, those children or adults with the neurotransmitters not functioning the way they should, they hold on to toxins, and this helps get rid of those toxins. Also, an autistic child, they might have more inflammation in their brain, and this will help decrease some of that. So OPC3 helps in a lot of ways. This is essential for any child that has any neurotransmitter difficulties. Here's just a brief article on it, it's not the full one, of how pycnogenol reducing ADHD symptoms. And the research shows us that it reduces symptoms by 36%. And that is a huge significance. And what I love about it is that the side effects compared to medications, there is no side effects typically. And medications, I typically have a lot of side effects with kids, if it even helps them at all. Well, okay, I'm going to talk to you about the multivitamins. It looks like I have part of the screen for it. We carry 3 multivitamins. The vitamins, the first one on the left, is your basic multivitamin that's isotonic for children. What I love about this is that there's no binders and fillers, and it's cheap. It's basically 10 bucks a month or 25 for 3 months. And so it's very cheap compared to even like a Flintstones or something like that. And there's no binders and fillers in it, so you don't have to worry about aspartame and dyes within this multivitamin. So the kids are getting a good quality product, and it's still very reasonable. The next one in the middle is called the Spectrum multivitamin, and this one is designed again for children with neurological difficulties. It doesn't have copper in it. That's something that's hard for these kids. They don't process it properly. It also has activated Bs in it. That is very important because these kids, it's difficult for their bodies to absorb these anyway. So with it activated, it helps them to absorb them quickly and get what they need. And I will talk about activated Bs in a little bit. The gummy multivitamin also has activated Bs in it and is no binders or fillers. So all those kids that love the gummies, we still have those for you. Omega-3. The Spectrum Omega is liquid. It does not taste like fish. I get that question a lot. This is essential for the body because our body does not produce omegas. We need to consume it. The omegas is one that I really call, in my clinic, my brain-based essential, because yes, we know that research has showed us that it's good for the heart and inflammation in the eyes and all that kind of stuff, but it's also really good for our brain functioning. And research behind it recently on it helping symptoms of ADHD. I have seen children that within a week starting omega-3, their attention is much better the next week, and it's very cool to see. I also use omegas for mood swings, learning disabilities, and depression. So omegas is very important in the mental health world, and it is an essential for everybody. Here's just some clips out of research and newspaper articles of omegas and how much it helps. Omegas is one that even our women that are pregnant and babies, it is great for everybody. All right, the activated B complex. Bs are great for stabilizing our mood. We also know this is our energy vitamin. Now, a child who is ADHD, when taking this, will not get more energy. Actually, it will help decrease their agitation and their worries, or the anxiety that comes with them. The hyperness is a symptom that of their body overflowing with stress. So bees is not going to add to that. It will help normalize or control some of it. I think a bees is like my thought vitamin. Those people that worry and have rapid thinking, or have what I call the negative Nancy thoughts, the irrational thinking. I always have to have this, or I never get to do that. That type of thinking is what I call some irrational thinking. And these help with that kind of stuff. And again, children with neurological issues, they typically don't absorb their Bs properly. And so then with the activated B, it's wonderful that they are able to have that. Some B deficiencies can be aggression also. What is cool about our activated B is that we have it regular, and then we also have it in some multivitamins, and our prenatal vitamin has it in too. It is harder to find in our community here in Bismarck to find activated B. We have one other store in the community that sells an activated B in their multivitamin. Otherwise, it's ours that we are fortunate to have. All right, Calcium Complete. Calcium Complete is a blend. It has calcium, magnesium, D. It has a variety of things to help, and it really is a great one for relaxation. So, you know, this is the one that I go to when I have kids that are anxious. The magnesium helps relax the nervous system. This is also one that I go to if I have children or adults with sleep issues. We can have some at night too. Um, we The reason that I use this instead of a melatonin-based product is when melatonin is given to children, our body stops producing it if they take it for long periods of time. Excuse me. And it also produces vivid dreams. As a mental health therapist, most of my kids have had scary things happen to them in their life, and I don't really want them to have scarier dreams or more vivid dreams. So I stay away from melatonin. Melatonin is also used during daytime, like relaxation, or we don't want them to be so rigid. There is a place for melatonin. Melatonin is great for like if you're traveling and need to get back on schedule. And there is some kids who don't produce melatonin. And so we might have to give them to that. And that's usually some Asperger or, I'm sorry, ADHD kids or autistic kids. But we do have another product called L-tryptophan that is a precursor for making melatonin, which is something that I use typically in conjunction with their doctor who's doing medication. But so calcium I use for that relaxation. It also helps build strong bones. Most of our calcium is in our bone density is developed before our age of 20. So kids need their calcium, and milk does not do a body good as far as making our bones strong. So we need to supplement with that. And how much calcium do we need? Here's a brief chart on it. You can see that calcium is needed from birth on up in our life and how much they need. As far as the amount, yes, for Calcium Complete, when I'm using it for the littler kids, I do use quarter caps and half cap doses, and then I move on up from there. Our body does not absorb more than one cap at a time, so if you're taking more than one cap at a time, it's the magnesium that it's getting out of it, and it is, your body will just urinate out the excess of it. All right, so here's a little cheat sheet of some of the things that I talked about tonight, and I'm going to review them. One thing is that first of all, I always start with the gut. The gut is very important because we need to know if they're getting rid of their toxins or toxins that are causing symptoms. We need to know that they're absorbing their vitamins and minerals instead of just adding it to them. For sensory issues, when I get a child with sensory issues, such as like walking on tippy toes, has a hard time with textures, light, sound, there's a variety of sensory issues. I start with the gut, and I start with digestive enzymes. With that, a child that maybe is labeled sensory processing disorder, I would do digestive enzyme, 2 caps in the morning, 2 caps in the afternoon, along with OPC3, Spectrum, mixed together with that. I would also have them drink aloe all day long until we can get the sensory issues taken care of. I would also have them on a probiotic. The next steps after that will be the multivitamin Spectrum. ADHD, the Spectrum line, where I start with ADHD kids is again the gut. I use digestive enzyme Spectrum mixed with OPC3 Spectrum, and then I do the Spectrum multivitamin, and then depending, the next steps after that, I do omega-3s and sometimes B-complex or calcium complete. Because finances can be an issue at a time, but lots of times with ADHD, just the digestive enzyme spectrum and OPC3 spectrum mixed, I will see symptom drop with that. But to get them functioning at their best, obviously some of our other products will help with that. Acne or skin issues. This is a very common one too. You know, all the kind of crud that we eat, our skin's not the best. Skin and acne, that typically is, again, a gut issue. You know, for adults, usually ultimatealoe works good, but for kids or teenagers, the digestive enzyme spectrum, probiotics, and aloe, and OPC are a great way to clear up a kid's skin. Stress, I use B-complex and calcium complete, a cap of each. For little kids, for separation anxiety or performance anxiety, holidays, I use it at my house for that kind of stuff. I will mix half a cap B's, half a cap of calcium for my children so that they can relax for whatever they are doing. Headaches, magnesium, or else I do B-complex and OPC3. Depression, magnesium, or omega-3, or B-complex. You know, really depression, the Essentials Kit and omega-3s is a great place to start to see what is really causing that depression. Anxiety, the same thing. You know, calcium and magnesium are great for relaxation. If they are a worrier, then B-complex is great to decrease those irrational thoughts or to slow down that rapid thinking. But anxiety can be a symptom of the gut not functioning right too. So again, I always start with the gut, because if they're not pooping every day or they have tummy issues, if you fix that, you're more than likely to fix defiance and anxiety and other symptoms. Allergies, OPC3, and sleep, calcium complete. All right, so on from there. Of course, the very first thing that I would like for people to do is to take care of themselves, because how we model and our own heart rate affects how our children behave. So we want to take care of ourselves, and I love the Daily Essentials Kit because you get your 4 essential vitamins needed to make those a variety of regimens or cocktails. You know, continue to be educated, continue to take care of yourself, continue to lead a healthy lifestyle, and you can make a difference in a children's life. So what are some of the next steps? To make an appointment for a Wellness 101 within your home, to try a regimen yourself, you surely can get a hold of me. My websites are thekidstherapycenter.com. The Children Need Wellness .com website has the Children's Wellness Survey on it. On there is also a place where you can register your email if you would like to get information or research on children's wellness stuff that I get, that I think is important. I will email it out on there. So that's a great site. Also on the Children Need Wellness website, I put on where I'll be talking at. Sometimes they are internet-based. Or else I do talk in a few states now.